Ghost Stories in York Part 13. So once told a very curious tale of the Shambles here in the city of York. And this is when a couple were visiting from abroad and they wanted to see the most historic street in the city. Unfortunately, they visited in the middle of a thunderstorm. And with all the shops shut, there was not very much shelter that they could find. Now soaked to the skin thanks to the thunderstorm and with nowhere to go, the options were running low. But just as they were wandering down the Shambles about to give up hope, a door suddenly opened and an old lady stood in the doorway beckoning them in. Seeing that they were soaked through the skin, she invited them upstairs into her house for a cup of tea. Happy to get out of the rain, the couple were thrilled to be invited inside, and so the old lady showed them up to her parlour just up the stairs. The couple realised that the building had a very old feel to it, very nostalgic. There was a thick layer of dust over every single surface, and the photographs on the tables depicted people in old army officers' uniforms. But still, they were invited to have a cup of tea with the old lady, and the three of them talked about times gone by. As the conversation continued, the young couple revealed that they actually had a farmhouse where they had chickens and ducks lay fresh eggs every morning. The old lady commented that she did used to enjoy the taste of duck eggs, but it had been a long time since she'd had any. And so the couple decided that next time they would come to York, they would bring her a fresh case of duck's eggs. The old lady was all too happy to hear the news. And so the couple, dry and stomachs full of tea and cake, left the old lady and thanked her for her kindness. Several years went by before the couple would return, and as promised, they brought with them duck eggs to give to the old lady as a thank you for that day from rescuing them from the rain. But the trouble was, when they came back to the Shambles, they couldn't quite remember which door belonged to the old lady. So as they frantically searched the streets, they decided they would ask a shopkeeper if they knew about the old lady. And when they inquired, one gentleman replied, "I know who you're talking about, but she's been dead for several decades because as a child, I used to visit her and she used to invite me in for tea and cakes." The couple were absolutely bewildered by this news because they said that they were in her house. They'd seen where she'd actually lived. But the shopkeeper was adamant that that old lady had been dead for about 20 years.